Hello everyone, I am Richa Goswami. Today I am taking the topic Organizational Behavior for the UGC CBSE NAT Paper 2 Management. What is organization? Organization is a group of people where two and more people, obviously in a group there are two and more people, consciously interact to each other to attain any specific object. Organization behavior is a branch of social science that seeks to build theories that can be applied to predict, understand, and controlling the behavior in an work organization. Organization behavior is not just a discipline, it is a total study, integrated study of psychology, sociology, and anthropology. It studies at different levels. Organization behavior is studied about the individual behavior, group behavior, and organizational behavior levels. It is normative science that concentrate on the applied research. Applied research, we all know, these are the kind of research in which we do actions for the specific problems. We apply solution for specific problems. So organization behavior provide that solution to apply any problem on any problem. It is a pure science as well as normative science. Pure science is the facts, what should be, what ought to be. It gives the answer to these questions. Organization behavior do the same work. It provide answer what should be in an organization and what ought to be in an organization, as well as it is a normative science. Normative science means which provide logics to any situation, any problems. It is a total system approach in which we take accounts all the variables like people, structures, technology, which affecting the organizational functioning. Organizational behavior plays important role in understanding human behavior at individual level, interpersonal level, group level, or interpersonal levels. It control and direct the human behaviors by using the powers, sanctions, leadership, communication, organization climates, as well as organization adaptations. What is adaptation? An organization never works in isolation. It will continuously interact with the environmental change, changing standards of living, way of thinking, technology change. So, organizational adaptation is provided by the organizational behavior. An organization has to adapt itself to such changes which take place in the environment. A manager has to find out the needs of change that he has to face resistance from employees to these changes. Next is, what are the elements of organization behavior? Elements means what involved in this, on which we operate organization behavior. Core thing is people behavior है, definitely behavior directly connected to the humans, people's internal social system. Human ही बनाते हैं any organization. They consist in an organization, we consist individuals or groups. The groups may be big or small, formal or informal, official or unofficial. Groups are dynamic and they work in the organization to achieve their objectives. Structures define the relationship between the peoples in an organization. Different people in organization are performing different type of jobs and they need to be related to in substructural way so that their work can be effectively coordinated. Technology such as machines, work processes, organization behavior work on these also. Environment, next is environment. All organizations operate within an external environment as well as internal environment. The organization behavior mostly influence the internal environment, which influence each other in a complex system that create a context of the group of people. Organization behavior system, it defines the organizational structure and culture and explain their impact on the employees. In next figure we will see what are the basic elements for the organization structure. First of all, there should management's philosophy, values, visions, and goals. Philosophies are actually fundamental nature of knowledge. realities, and existence, which a manager believes. Values are the principles and standards of the behavior that a management expecting from the organization as well as from the employees. Vision means it is a future view. It is an image of what the future will be or could be like, what the management itself or its organization in near future is called visions. Goal, obviously the objectives which management wants to achieve. Organization culture can be defined as the behaviors, values that contribute the unique social and psychological environment of an organization. Organization can be of two types, formals and informals. Formal organization where structure are clearly framed out, and informal structures where the hierarchies structures are not clearly framed out. Social environment, these all contribute to the social environment. Next is leadership, communication, group dynamic. These all structure ये ऑर्गेनाइजेशन लेवल पर पॉइंट्स हैं जो कि इफ़ेक्ट करते हैं लीडर्स मैनेजर्स के स्ट्रक्चर्स को, जो कि प्रोवाइड करवा रहे हैं लीडरशिप, कम्युनिकेशंस एंड ग्रुप डायनेमिक. These all elements contribute the quality work life. Quality work life denotes all the organizational input which aim at employee satisfaction and enhancing organizational effectiveness. If we are organization or providing to quality work life to its employee, obviously they will get motivated. If they are motivated, then they will get satisfaction from their job, as well as they contribute in the growth and development of individuals as well as organizationals. There are different organizational theories provided by different management peoples. These are classified into three sections. First is classical theory, second is neoclassical theory, and third is modern theory. In classical theory, we have three types of theories: scientific management theory, which were given by the Taylor. Next is administrative theory, that was given by the Feull. Bureaucratic theory, that is given by the Weber. Let's start one by one. First of all, we will discuss scientific classical theories, the traditional or long established theories which become the fundamental stone for the systematic study of organization. First is scientific management theory, which was given by the Frederick W. Taylor. He worked for the increasing the productivity of workers. This approach emphasizes on the scientific study of work in order to improve work efficiency. He tried to find out effective work standards. According to him, there are four principles for the scientific management. First is scientific task planning. In this, management should find out the amount of work which an average worker can perform during a day under the normal working conditions. It means managers should plan their work. Scientific task planning is done by the managers. They standardize the average work which can be performed during a day under normal condition. This can be achieved by the time and motion study. The aim is to eliminate unnecessary waste motions and to find out minimum time required to do a job. Thus, next is in standardization. What is standardization? Standards have to be set in advance for deciding the work procedures, quality, parameters, time schedules, working condition. This will increase the efficiency of employees as well as the organization. Scientific selection and training. Jobs should be matched to the abilities of the employee. Next is functional foremanship. He believed in this. Factors should be divided into several supervisors controlling different departments. These functional specialists perform the planning function and provide expert advice to the workers. Next is administrative theory, which was given by the Henry Feull. Henry Feull classified the business operation into 6 major activities. These were production, buying or selling, that is commercial function, financial function, security activities, accounting activities, and last is managerial activities, which involves planning and organizing business. Uh, Henry Fayol gave 14 principles for the effective working of organization. These principles were division of work. According to Henry Fayol, work should be divided in sub works, sub jobs, sub tasks allotted to the various persons according to their expertise in a particular area. He especially stressed on the specialization of jobs. It also helped to the individuals to in acquiring speed, accuracy in their performances. Next is party of authority and responsibility. He said authority and responsibilities are existing. If authority is given to a person, he should also made responsible. In the same way, if anyone is made responsible for any job, he should also have concerned authority. Authority refers to the right of superior to get exactness from their subordinates, whereas responsibility means obligations for the performance of job assigned. The next principle was one boss. A subordinate should receive order and to be accountable to only one boss at a time. Next is unity of direction. Fayol advocates one head, one plan, which means that there should be one plan for a group of activities having similar objectives. Related activities should be grouped together. There should be one plan for actions for them, and they should be under the charge of a particular manager. According to this principle, efforts of all the members of the organization should be directed toward the common goals. Without unity of direction, unity of action cannot be achieved. Next is equity. Equity means combination of fairness, kindness, and justice. Every employee should be treated equally. Next is orders. The principle concerned with the proper and systematic arrangement of things and peoples. Material should be in systematic order, as well as selection, appointment of most suitable person on a suitable job. There should be specific place for everyone, and everyone should have a specific place so that they can easily be contacted whenever they need arise. Next is discipline. Discipline means sincerity, obligations, obedience, respect of authority, observations of rules, regulations of the enterprises. This principle applied This principle applies that subordinates should respect their superiors and obey the orders. It is an important requisite for smooth running of an enterprises. Initiatives. Workers should be encouraged to take initiative in the work assigned to them. Fuel advised that management should provide opportunity to its employees to suggest ideas, experience, and new methods of work. Uh, Remuneration to be paid to the worker should be fair, reasonable, satisfactory, and rewarding of the efforts. Stability of tenure. Fuel emphasized that employees should not be moved frequently from one position to another. The period of service in the job should be fixed. Therefore, employees should be appointed after keeping in view principle of recruitment and selection. But once they are appointed, their services should be served. Next is scalar chain. Fuel defined scalar chain as the chain of superiors ranging from the ultimate authority to the lowest. Means there should be clear orders, instructions, messaged, request, explanation, etc. has passed through the scalar chain, but for the sake of convenience and urgency, this path can be cut short, and this shortcut is known as gangplank. Gangplank is the temporary arrangement between two different points of facilitating quick and easy communication. Next is subordinate of the individual interest and general interest. An organization is much bigger than the individual is constituted therefore the interest of sorry for interruption. Here we again begin with the scalar chain. Scalar chain means there should be clear chain or between authorities and the lower responsible persons. Means every employee should know who for whom he is responsible and accountable, and any order, instruction, message, request, explanation have passed through the has to pass through a scalar chain. Gangplank, when we are cutting this scalar chain and directly communicating with the next level of authority, next level of subordinates, that is considered as the gangplank. Next is subordination of individual interest and general interest. In this in order to achieve this attitude, it is essential that employees should be honest and sincere, proper and regular supervision of work, reconciliation of mutual differences and clashes by mutual agreements. It constitutes, therefore, interest of the undertakings should be prevail in all circumstances. As far as possible, reconciliation should be achieved between individual and group interest. Means individual interest should be coordinated with the general interest of the organization. Sprite the corpe. It means harmony in the work groups and mutual understanding among the members. Fuel mentioned that manager against dividing the employees into competing group because it might damage the morale of the workers and interest undertaking long run. Next principle is centralization and decentralization. Centralization means the concentration of authority at the top level. In other words, we can say centralization is the situation in which top management retain most of the decision making authority. Decentralization, opposite of this, means disposal of decision making authority to the all level of the organization. Sharing authority downward is called decentralization. According to Fuel, degree of centralization and decentralization depends on the number of factors like size of business, experience of the superior, dependability and abilities of subordinate. Um, these all are the 14 principles given by the Henry Fuel for the administrative theory of organization. Next, we are going moving for the McKinsey's 7S framework, which involves value-based management model. This is developed by well-known business consultants Waterman and Peter. They also developed management by walking around and authored In Search of Excellence. This was a strategic vision of group to include businesses, business units, and team. The 7S are structure, strategy, system, skills, style, staff, and shared value. They further classified these 7 elements into two sections. One is hard elements and second is soft elements. Hard elements are easier to define or hard elements are easier to define or identify, and management can directly influence them. These are strategy statement, organization chart, reporting lines, and formal processes and IT system. First S is strategy. Strategy is the long-run plans for the allocation of firm's scarce resources to reach identified goals in time. Next is structure. Structure is the way of organization unit related to each other. Centralized functional divisions, decentralization, matrices, networks. These are the kind of structures of organization which are also directly in control of the management but hard to change. That's why these are included in the hard elements. Next is system is the processes and routines that characterized how work is to be done. Financial system, hiring procedures, information system, performance appraisals, these are involved in systems. Next, they classify soft elements which can be more difficult to describe and are less tangible and more influenced by the culture. These are shared elements, shared values. What does the organization stand for? Values. Earlier I have defined what are the values. Values are the Principle and standards of behaviors, shared values which are shared by the organization as a whole. What is beliefs in central belief and the attitude. Staff number and type of personnel within an organization. This is also comes in the soft element. Next is style, cultural style of organization and how key managers behave in achieving goals. Next is skills. Skills are distinctive capabilities of personnel or the organization as a whole. He classified these 7 elements for an organization structure. Thank you for watching. Uh, Rest of the theories of organization, those were the bureaucracy, neoclassical and modern theories, we will discuss in the next video. Thank you.